Melba Moore, good night to you. How are you?
Oh, good evening to you. Thank you so much the way you're sharing me with your public. I'm so excited. You sound so excited too.
Listen, Melba. The last time we spoke, nothing has changed. I told you the last time that you are my star, and nothing has changed. You know what I mean? You
Yes,
are a
thank
star.
you.
You are a star girl, Melba Moore, and your voice just keep talking for you. So
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome to Tops Radio, Melba.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So the last time we spoke, Melba Moore was busy on tour all around the world. At this time, what is happening for Melba Moore?
Well, you're playing my latest single, It's My Time Again, and I'm still in the studio doing some more songs with some incredible songwriters and producers. I
Hmm.
was just at Patchwork Studio in Atlanta, where all the big, as y'all say, the big dogs go to go to record.
Yes.
So I'm trying to finish up this album because it's going so well, and of course we are on tour. We're getting ready to go back to the UK again, and just a bunch of things. Just working hard and trying to build things.
Mm. Melba, your latest production. Any plans for that new album?
Well, that's what I'm speaking about. We're in the studio now, trying to finish it up. Yes.
Ah, okay, good. Now, there are some listeners who claim that they did not hear the last interview, and I know they're lying. So, for the sake of those that pretended they did not hear the last interview, I need for you, Melba, to tell us, where was Melba Moore born and grown?
Oh, you want to know some of the beginnings for those who
Yes,
don't know? Okay.
yes. For those who don't,
Well,
yeah, who claim not to know a Melba Moore. Yeah.
there may be a few.
I don't think so.
Well, okay. Well, I started my life in New York City, in Manhattan. My mother was a professional singer, and my natural father, whom she never married, was a very well-known band leader by the name of Teddy Hill.
Hmm.
And people like Miles Davis and Dizzy Gillespie and Chu Berry, many up-and-coming great jazz musicians of that day, which would have been like the 40s and the 50s, and some part of the 60s, but their heydays were, earlier.
Hmm.
They were around the time of Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald and some of those great artists, just to tell you the time of frame of my parents.
Hmm.
And those kinds of musicians. And I guess I'm saying that because I guess I'm trying to say that it's in my blood to be an artist. It's not just a job for me.
Right, right.
But my mother married my stepfather when I was 9 years old, and he's still performing. He's a piano player and a singer, and he had a son and a daughter. So then I had a sister and a brother, and a whole family. Because before then, I was taken care of by a nanny because my grandmother had strokes. So
Okay,
the family was broken.
okay.
So I didn't have, a whole family there. But when my mother married my stepfather, we moved to New Jersey.
Hmm.
So a lot of my upbringing was in New Jersey as well as in New York. And I have lots and lots of family and friends and fans that are from New Jersey. And they say, well,
Right.
she's from Newark. She's not from New York. So I claim them both.
Okay.
Those are my beginnings. And since my father was and is a piano player, he made us take piano lessons. So that's when I really got intimately involved with music, and it became the centerpiece of our lives. And of course, it's in my blood.
Mm.
But then to see your parents rehearsing with their combo, their band
Hmm.
in your living room,
Right,
you really, it's like living in a band rehearsal room.
right. Yeah, right.
So we really started to grow up totally involved with music, and then my parents would take us on tour with them sometimes when they were performing. So
Right.
we'd be with them and actually see them perform. So we really got in the mix of it then. And by the time I got to high school, I realized, well, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I wanted to be in music some kind of a way. I didn't know if I had enough talent. I knew that I could sing. All of us sang, all of us played, but you didn't know like you're going to be a star or something. But you know that music is something you want to be involved in for the rest of your life. So I went to art and music high school, or, the music of performing arts high school in Newark, New Jersey. So that's kind of important, where I got my first real training and grounding in music, and really became not just in love with it, but started to be trained to be a professional. Really happened in Newark, New Jersey. And I say that, cities and places where you start your life and where your family, influences, you take that with you the rest of your life, so that's kind of important. And
Wow.
I went to college in New Jersey, Montclair, New Jersey, but I majored in music education because my mother and father, who were performers, told me to get a real job.
So they're claiming that singing wasn't a real job.
Right. They said from their own experience it wasn't a real job because they never knew where the next paycheck was going to come from. Like if you were a school teacher or you worked for the post office or for the government, you had a regular check.
Right. I see. Melba, do you have anyone around you that shows interest in the singing that you can safely say we will be going places? Meaning you're a great singer. Your voice is out there. Is there anybody around you that is actually in your camp that you can say, gosh, I am feeling pleased that I can pass the baton on when the time is here to a Jane and for her to carry on the Melba Moore legacy?
Well, I don't have a camp. My camp is not composed of young singers coming up around me. Right now, my camp is composed of us learning how to be entrepreneurs and learning the business aspect of it. Part of my public story is that I lost my career. I lost basically my whole public life and had to start it over again. And now I over the last 10, 15 years, I've really built it up greatly with Ron Richardson, my current manager, who stuck it out with me and had to go through some real treacherous learning experiences, not only learning the business, but I had to rebuild my reputation because my former manager and ex-husband had told people that I was a crackhead and that I'd lost my voice. I mean, I had a lot to overcome. So I should have been in a position where my camp was built up. I was making hit records, and I have young people coming up to me saying, "Well, how can I do what you do?" I have to do that by example now. I have to put more music out there. I have to do my projects, and when I go on tour, I get opportunities to speak to young people. I do master classes and that kind of thing. But it has to happen that way. I can't sit back and rest on my laurels yet. I have to build it back all over again and then give it to you.
Gosh. Melba.
So my hope is that as we release this album, that it's going to be a great success. I believe that it will. And then we will repeat the process. And people are going to say, well, can you help my child? Can you? Or, I know someone who's very talented. I will have the opportunity to do that then. Or I'll be able to bring somebody aboard my record label,
You're right. Melba, you tend to tour a lot. And speaking to Ron, I mean, come tomorrow, you're like going to Florida.
No, I just came back. You late.
Oh my God. So you're just...
We just came back from Sarasota, and we just came back from Atlanta because we're in the studio. So, but we're going to go to the UK, I think, next.
Gosh. Melba, how is it like, though, on the road so often? I mean, when do you find time?
I'm going to tell you something. You need to stay in good health. You can't eat a lot of junk. You need to be really, passionate about what you're doing because it's not always convenient. Like, for instance, I had to be at the airport this morning at 4:30 a.m. And, we scheduled our recording work beginning at 9 o'clock in the morning, which means we had to be up and out at 8. And that means, I don't know about other people. When I get in the studio, I can't warm up there. I have to already be warm. The voice has to be ready to go. Whatever it is I need to have, I need to have it because, we pay money now. It's costing you. It's not like, you ain't getting paid yet to do this. You paying.
Right.
And, when you travel for instance, I went one airline, I forget what it was now, and they were going to charge you like $50 to check your bag,
Mm-hmm.
and so some people try to get around it, and they, want to carry on,
Mm-hmm.
so they want to charge them 55 to carry it on. So you got to learn how to pack because you got to carry that stuff yourself.
Yes.
But the point is, you have to be in good shape. Travel is hard work. That's my point.
Mm. Gosh.
Travel is very, very hard work. You're in different climates, and regardless of what your instrument is or what you do, you have to keep yourself in good health. But if your instrument is your body,
Mm-hmm.
you have to really know it very well, and it's a delicate thing. And if you eat a lot of junk food and stuff, you wind up with diabetes or high blood pressure or obesity, or you get hoarse, and we can't afford. We don't have like days off. You know what I'm saying? We don't have paid vacation.
Right. And
You got to be up and ready when it's time to go. Then, so that means when your downtime is, you got to pace yourself, prepare. You got to get plenty of rest, and I find that diet is extremely important. Like I need a certain type of diet to be at my best, to be strong and healthy, and be able to do everything physically. But also, certain foods and things will affect my voice. And then, like, if you work a lot and you eat that same food all the time, you might be missing other things. Like, I need a lot. I eat like a football player. I eat like I'm going to be a contact sport because we holler and scream a lot.
Yeah, right.
It takes a lot of energy.
Right.
So that when I'm not working, then I try to go get me some spinach and some broccoli and, and some kale and, because you need dark vegetables. Point is, you are a machine, and you have to learn how it works, or it will not work. And travel is very, 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 can I say, it's just hard work. And you're waiting, and you're standing a lot of time, and then you're sitting in airplane seats for hours at the time. So when you're not in that, you need to go to the gym, you need to walk, and you need to, fluoridate, to have plenty of fluids in your body to wash out, because you have like one extreme to the other. Either like you're sitting for hours, or you running to get to the gate, and then they change the gate. Then you got to run to the end of the airport,
Right.
with your bags,
Right.
and you can't get in the head.
My. Melba, how much time do you spend at home? Home as in your place. For the year, average time. Based on your...
Well, once my career is balanced out, so that there are, this is not a 9-to-5 job, so I can't yet say, okay, well, 3 days a week I'm going to do this, or every 6. We're creating an infrastructure now.
Okay.
So, and these days, most people have the privilege and the opportunity or the requirement to diversify. Like there's certain cycles that are prevalent for recordings. If that happens, then your concert tour is kind of based on that. But I've had to rebuild things, so it's a little bit different. My hope is that we've been doing this now for about 10 years, this rebuilding and comeback. So I think by next year or the year after, I'll be able to answer that question and say to you, I have an itinerary that I can now plan ahead and tell you that certain amount of time I'm going to be here, certain amount of time I'm going to be there. It's all, and you have to like be like a door-to-door salesman and let everybody test your products out and everything. We've done that over these last 10 years. Now a lot of the places we go back are repeat, and now they can say, okay, well we'd like to book you ahead of time, so then you can have an itinerary, and I could answer your question. I said all that to say, it sounds, you see what we're doing out there, so it sounds like everything's in place, but everything is still being put in place.
Right. Somebody is actually showing me a piece of paper with a question on it, and they want to know, what do you do to keep yourself so young?
Okay, now I can't take the credit for that. I do certain things in regimen, and some of the things I was telling you, but it's God, because He promises if you do certain things, and you have to be really strict with it, you have to be devoted to it, that He will rejuvenate you, He will renew you. And I know it's true because I see the response of people. They say that I look good, they say that I don't look my age, and I'm in very good shape. And I could do all those things, but without the grace of God, you still don't have, you have to have kind of a light in you, a joy in you that that is really, we identify with youth, and he gives us so many different examples of that. For instance, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebecca and Jacob, and he tells us, like, this is the bloodline, and of course we plead his blood, but you don't do that foolishly or selfishly, or selfishly. You have to obey his rule, and some of the rules we know, but some of it has to be totally soulful, mindful, and spiritual. It can't just be a regimen. It has to be something that you love. You know, you have to be you have to develop a loving persona, forgiving. I've been through so much hell, and I've let it go, and I think it shows that I'm not carrying that with me. But that's the process. I promise you. Everybody will tell you that if they had anything, really harsh happen to them, it's hard for them to let that go.
I know.
You have to go through this whole regimen, I know. We've almost all had these situations.
Yes.
But I hope that I'm showing that it works, because it's taking the years of stress and strain and hardship off of me.
You very obviously seem to be moving away from acting. I must tell my listeners that you are a very good actor. But it seems since lately...
No, these are just circumstantial. What's happening is, what I feel is, and going back and looking at my career, music was the centerpiece of my life, and out of that, other things came. So I thought in rebuilding it, I would go back to whatever it is that God gave me as a vocation and a ministry, as well as a talent, and let it be the centerpiece, and then other things will come out of it. Now, I'm going to be acting again. I'll have more opportunities, because guess what? Everybody understands a hit record. I've seen people be so successful in music that other things were offered to them. And I think it wasn't so much success in the beginning for me. I was at the right place at the right time, but I was in a recording studio doing music when I was offered my first Broadway show, which was Hair, which of course was a musical. And directly after that, the show that gave me a Tony Award as an actress was a musical. So that's my feeling. They connect with the whatever. And I'm telling this to people who have other talents. It doesn't have to be music. You might find that you're not really, really good at something, or you really want to get good at that. Focus on it. Get good at it. And I think it opens other doors for you.
Gosh. Melba, you are a star. And you know what I admire with you, Melba? You are very active with the social media. You try to reach out to your fans. You try to let your fans know where a Melba Moore will be at any given time. And
that I appreciate them. Don't forget that.
Right. It shows that you are so involved in your fan base. And that gives us so much hope that the artists that we grew on listening to, is right there with us, interacting with us. Because so some of you big entertainers, you don't like to do your hands-on thing. You have people doing it for you. You know what I mean?
Well, I've got a lot of help. Ron really helps me greatly with that. But see, we have a new opportunity today to be involved. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way. The fans have an opportunity to be involved with the artists that they like to support, and to be hands-on. The structure was different before. You didn't have that opportunity. And when you go out, and everything, I want to look my best, sound my best, feel my best, because everybody got a camera.
Yeah, I know.
And everybody can go on these social media networks and say what they think about you.
Yeah.
So you want to connect,
Yeah. Do you feel bad when there are bad stuff that are actually said about Melba Moore? How do you feel?
I haven't seen anything bad.
There we go.
I'm not saying that. No, I haven't seen anything bad, and I've been really kind of amazed at that. But I feel like people want positivity.
Yes.
I think the areas of conversation in life that I'm in evoke positive things, evoke joy. I'm trying to look nice for you.
Yes.
That's what you have to talk about.
Right.
I'm trying to sing nice to you.
Right.
That's what you have to talk about. I'm trying to talk about things that are important to our growth and our well-being. So there's usually positive things, not things that I'm not really involved with anything that is controversial.
Have you?
So I'm not saying that I'm so perfect, so good, I don't do anything. but I try to keep it in arenas where people are
Right.
encouraged
Right.
to think and do and act in a good positive way. So that's what we talk about.
A lot of us, Melba, are so. When you sing, a lot of us are actually looking forward to hear that high note. Have you ever, at any given time, on stage, and feel as if, gosh, I cannot hold this note, or I can't go as high as I once did with the song? Have you ever reached that point in your career?
No, and I tell you why. Because I know it doesn't come from me, and I feel like singing and the performance is kind of a side job. What I do all day, every day, is I go to church, I read the Bible, I exercise. When I say exercise, I mean study the Word and try to become the Word. And what's happened is the notes are getting higher and longer.
Ah, gosh, Melba,
Because first of all, I've taken a lot of the junk out of my thoughts and my life.
Yes.
I've taken a lot of the junk
Yes.
out of my food.
Yeah.
So the voice is actually getting better.
You mentioned going to church, Melba. Do you go to church with the bodyguards, the entourage, and all the works? How do you?
No, you got to leave that outside, honey. Because you're going to see the king. You don't need no bodyguard before the king.
Right. You know what I mean?
You got to strip that away. He wants your humility. He says, you will humble yourself. He will exalt you. I think that's what you think. If you
Yes.
call me a star, I think that I'm really being made that by the Lord, because that's where I spend my time.
Mm. And how is it when you go out meeting your fans, though? Do you have a lot of people like rushing for autographs and stuff like that?
You know what? They usually want to hug me.
Mm.
I say, yeah, come on.
Oh
Let's
my
get a
God.
selfie.
Oh my God, Melba, you are a star, girl. You are a star.
But actually, that's really increasing because you have the social media.
Yes.
I have projects that are up and out so people can see that I'm here, I'm in your face.
Right.
And so, of course, then they recognize you on the street and they like what you're doing. They feel like it's positive.
Right.
And they want to say, I love you, I'm proud of you. Can we take a
Right.
selfie?
Right.
So that means I gotta be looking nice, you know.
Right, right. Melba, when I started out at 7:30 with the tribute to Melba Moore, I want you to understand, if you were listening from that time, that everything that I said was genuinely said. I felt within me, from I was growing up, listening to Melba Moore, that you were always there in my ear. I mean, because I have always enjoyed listening to Melba Moore's song. And Melba, continue. I said it the last time. I'm going to say it again. I've been saying it to my friends. Just continue, Melba, to make us proud, because the world is depending on you.
Well, they're not depending on me, but that's what I want to do. That's my inspiration, is to be a good example. There's lots of things really bad and wrong, but rather than complain, I'd like to be a positive alternative and encourage everybody to be the best that they are. And I'm glad that God made me your star. Thank you.
Oh, my
I appreciate it.
Gosh, a friend of mine in Canada at this time, Melba, he's listening, and his name is Robert. He is saying that you are his number one fan. So you see what I'm talking
I appreciate
about.
it.
You see what I'm talking
Thank you.
about. Melba,
Yes.
on behalf of all of us here at Tops Radio, I would just want to say thanks a million for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight.
Well, I hope you can tell that it's been a pleasure for me, and I hope this won't be the last time that you'll invite me back.
Oh, no, this is a second, and there will be a third and a fourth. Oh, my God. Ron is,
Great.
Melba, I said it the last time also, and I'm saying it again, Ron is the best.
He's best. He's the best. And he's a young man, and we're just getting started, so we got lots of things that we hope you're going to be proud of.
Oh, my God. Melba Moore, take good care of yourself, and all the best, my dear.
Oh, thank you. Back at you and your wonderful listeners.
Oh, bye-bye. Take care. Good night.
All righty. Bye-bye.